Isn't this enough reason for India to intervene more strongly at this stage?
Well, more strongly means what? Within diplomacy, or are you suggesting we go beyond diplomacy?
No, more strongly as in with a strong and tough warning to the government of Pakistan.
Let me just say one thing very clearly. Allow the government of India to deal with Pakistan with all the resources that we have and all the experience that we have. And please do not distract both government of India and its officials from doing what today is a very, very serious obligation to fulfill. I think it's a lot easier to talk about these things than to achieve them on the ground. We will do what we believe is in the best interest of the people concerned, as indeed of our country and national interest.
Well, a lot of people would like to see the government more firm. My next set of questions is with you, Mr. Khurshid, is on China. For the first time on Friday, India acknowledged that Chinese had intruded 19 kilometers into our territory as opposed to 10 kilometers, which was earlier reported. Despite such a gross violation of our sovereignty, why is your government downplaying this incident as a localized one? The word localized has been repeatedly used. It clearly is not localized.
Because it is a localized thing. Very clearly it is a localized thing. We don't even know at what level the decision to do this took place. I'm not even going into specific measurements of how many kilometers, etc. You do know that there is a very, very important issue of difference of perception about line of control, the actual line of control. It has not been demarcated. We have, over the years, put together in place a mechanism that addresses both what we need to do about demarcation, as indeed how we address any incidents or issues that arise during this period. And I think that stood the test of time, and we'd rather rely upon that, which is a peaceful way of resolving these issues, than to go into histrionics or jingoism of some sort that would not serve the purpose for either of our two countries.
Did you know it was 19 kilometers? That the intrusion was as much as 19 kilometers into our territory when it was first reported to you?
Let's allow the conversation and the dialogue to take place between India and China rather than between Indians and Indians. I think what is important is for us as responsible government to do what we believe is to be done. Once that's done, we'll report back to you with all details.
No, but you describe the incident as acne, which can be addressed by simply applying an ointment. 19 kilometers intrusion into Indian territory, Mr. Khurshid, I'm sure you will agree, was an attempt. You were attempting to downplay it by calling it acne.
As I said to you, when the incident is resolved and over, we'll report back everything to you. I think please don't allow anyone to distract us from our present purpose, which is to continue that dialogue with a sense of determination and clarity, and knowing fully well what our responsibility is.
I understand that, Mr. Khurshid, that you don't want to upset anything before your visit to China. But one thing people would like to know, Mr. Khurshid, is that China seems to, one of the conditions which China has put is that we should stop our infrastructure, military infrastructure building activities, and also demolish our fortified positions. Do you believe, broadly, without going into specifics, that China can determine for us how we should build or not build our infrastructure and military infrastructure on our side, on our land? Do you think it is appropriate for any foreign country, including China, to determine that for us?
Well, I'm sure that you know the answer for yourself. I've clearly said that many of these discussions, I'm not a participant in a seminar. I am India's foreign minister, and my duty is to India to do it, to ensure that Indian interest is protected in all possible ways. And therefore, it's important that both tactically and strategically, what we are doing with China, what we believe we have to do with China, that we keep that within certain confines, and we will let you know and share with you every little detail.
Two quick questions, Mr. Khurshid. I can understand that you are not wanting to go into details, but one question I must ask you is that there is a growing political opinion, and I underline the word political, Mr. Khurshid, that you should cancel your visit to China. This visit is a precursor to the visit of Premier Li Keqiang on May 20th, but coming as it does with this standoff at the border, can you really skirt this issue when you meet the Chinese on the 9th of May? Can you skirt this issue, or will this be the main issue?
let's be careful with our words. We have difference of perception and certainly difference on the ground as it stands today. I don't think that I would use the word standoff unnecessarily or confrontation unnecessarily, as what the government thinks is appropriate to do to keep up contacts at the levels at which we have contacts with China.
No, but will it be merely a
we have made in China?
Will it be merely a preparatory visit for the Chinese premier's visit, or will you raise the border standoff issue as aggressively as people of this country would expect you to raise in this very important visit of yours, Mr. Khurshid?
It is customary on the eve of one's departure for another land to let the press and the people know what exactly is the purpose of the visit. And I'm sure that before I leave on the 9th, I will let you know as well.
Now, last question, Mr. Khurshid, and I know you want me to let you go immediately. Last question to you. Do you believe Indian diplomacy is soft? Why does political party after political party and social commentators and elsewhere, political analysts, strategic affairs analysts, all seem to be saying repeatedly that our diplomacy has gone soft?
Well, I would have accepted that as legitimate criticism if they felt that any other dimension and aspect of Indian politics is doing well. Since they don't have a good word for any dimension of Indian politics, I take it that this is a common pattern of their perception, and we will just carry on doing what we believe is in the national interest, and the people will in due course judge. I don't think the manner in which lack of objectivity has been displayed in assessing what the government is doing would be an exception in the case of foreign policy. Having said that, I promise you we will do what we believe is the best thing for our nation, and we will not compromise on any interest.
Mr. Salman Khurshid, Foreign Minister, thank you very much for talking to me. Thank you, sir.